Good evening, guys. This is a analysis of the NISRA monthly death figures, which are published online. As you can see, we're on the Northern Ireland Statistics and Research Agency website. There's the address at the top. Just in case anybody wants to verify this for themselves, I'm not making it up. If you go to Statistics tab at the top, you will see various categories. The one that I'm interested in is births, deaths, and marriages. Within that, there is an option for deaths, and then death statistics. And on that page, you have a link for monthly death statistics. There obviously are other ones as well, which feel free to compare and contrast, so to speak. And on the monthly deaths page, then among the documents, the document which, so far as I can tell, encompasses the most relevant data is the top one, the monthly deaths Excel file, which you can download. I already have, so I'm just going to go to it. But if you want to check the figures, it's there. And what I want to do, this is the file as it arrives. So as you can see, there's a year of registration along the top. So from 2006 all the way up to the present time. No figure currently reported for December 2020. But I think we've got enough to go on to have a look-see in terms of the past, what would that be, 14, 15 years roughly. Which year, which which year had the greatest number of deaths per month? So what I'm going to do, and how that compares. So I'm going to have a look and see which year had the greatest number of deaths per month, and I'm going to compare that then obviously to the figure for this year to try to establish what the truth is and how much worse this year is or isn't compared to what we've ever seen. So just for January here, just scanning along the top, I did notice one that was over 2,000. It seems to be the only one, so I'm going to mark that one in red. And I'm going to do that for each of the months. So in February, highest I've seen so far is 1333, 1393. There's a 14, seems to be the highest. March, there's a 14 straight away. Another one. Bear with me, guys, or not, as the case may be, it's your own choice. Okay, 3 in a row. 2018 wasn't a great year by the look of things to begin with. April, 12, 13, 14. And oh, there's 19 there. Okay, so for the first time, 2020 has the highest figure. That was April, which of course, as we know, that was the spike caused by the first lockdown, depending on who you listen to. May 2006, there's quite a high one there. That's not just as high, there's a higher one, 13. 1360s higher again. 1443 beats them. Okay, so 2 months in a row there for 2020. June 12, 11, 11, 12, 13, 1307. So this one is the highest in 2015, July. All 11 so far, dropping a bit. Back up, there's a 12, 100, 24, 1243, 1257, marginally. Okay, August 11, 12, 1258, 1258 the highest, sold. Okay, September, there's a 12. You can sort of see as you look through the numbers that they do, actually as you're looking across this, it's not maybe as apparent, but the numbers vary depending on the time of year. They tend to be a bit lower in the summer season and a bit high in the winter season. By anything up to about 400 or 500, just depending on the time of year and so on. So far for September, the highest I've seen is 1322. At the end there, 1384 for 2020. To be honest, this isn't actually how I did this the first time I looked at the numbers. I actually had just basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the top 3 for each month, and I had done each of the months, the top 3, and then moved on to the next month. This time I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to choose the top figure first for all months. Then I'm going to go back and choose the next highest, and finally a third highest. And we'll have a look-see how it all compares. Okay, so the most recent part of 2020, aside from the fact that figures aren't available for December, doesn't look too good, but in the earlier part, 2018 was worse. Right, so let's go back and take the next highest. So straight away I'm seeing 1818 up here for January. I wouldn't imagine there's anything as high as that. Doesn't appear to be. So the second highest, going to mark those in that color. Oh, messed up. So here we had 1456, so there's 1391's pretty high. What is any other 14s? Doesn't appear to be. And out of the 13s, there's 1393 actually. Okay, so we will say that's it there. March was 1487. There's 1449, 1475. And another 1475. So we've actually got a joint second. Okay, April we had 1900. 1354 is pretty high. There's a 1448. That's the one. May we were at 1443. There's a 1360. 1329. 1360 has it. This one 1351. There's 1307. Okay, I don't see any other higher figure to rival that. We'll go with that. Top there was 1257. There's 1243. 1224 is less. Okay. This one we had 1258. 1230 is pretty high. And that's the one. Then 1384, there's 1200 on the nose. 1216, 1322. Okay, 1322 then. This one we got 1504, 1347 I see, 1308. So that one, 1347. So we had 1626 here, 1396, 1403. Any other 14s? Doesn't look like it. And that's the one. And finally, actually I'm not going to do December because it's pointless because we've got no figure to compare with for this year. So let's go back and quickly get the third highest. To be honest, maybe not an awful lot of point in that because I'm not really going to include the third highest in the analysis. Well, I suppose it does serve a purpose in letting us see just not as opposed to just the sort of the highest and then the next highest. You've got a bit of a range then to look at. Right, so 1668, pretty high. Don't know if there's anything else just as high. It doesn't look like it. 1677 is actually higher. So that's our one, 1677. I'm going to mark those. Hopefully not too controversial to use green because at the end of the day, obviously all these numbers represent death, but it's just in terms of representing a sort of a scale is the wrong word, but I suppose you get the meaning. Next one then, so we had 1393, there's 1391. I wouldn't imagine there's anything in between the 93 and the 91. I'll have a look anyway, but no. Okay, so that's that one. Next row, 1449 is pretty high. And that's it, I think. So that's that one. Next one, so we had 1448. This is April, of course. 1448. So I see a 1318. 1354. That's it. Here we have 1360. There's 1349. That's it. 1307. And I don't see any other. Hold on. 12, 11, 11, 12, 11, 11, 11, 10, 10, 13, 12, 12. So 1262 I'm seeing is the next highest. Yeah. Next month, 1243. It's a rival, right? 1224. think that's it. Then we move on to, we hit 12:30. So any more 12s? 12:03. Moving down another row, we had 13:22, 12:84. Any more 13s? Nope. 12:03, 12:84. Is it? Then we had 13:47, 13:33, and nothing to beat that. 1396 is quite high, pretty close to 1403. Okay, that's it. Right, so now we've got all our sort of highs, middles, and not so highs for each month from 2006 up to 2020. I suppose at a quick glance, you'll notice that the vast majority of the coloured cells that I now have on the table are concentrated on the right hand side here. So in other words, the most recent years. I don't really have a good explanation for that. The only thing that comes to mind is that we may well have seen a bit of a demographic shift. We've had peace in Northern Ireland now for a good few years. We've also seen a degree of migration from other European states, which may have increased numbers slightly in terms of the population. The other, I suppose, possible hypothesis could be that we've also seen what were termed efficiency savings in healthcare in recent times. Those of us that work in healthcare tended to call them cuts as opposed to efficiency savings, because that's what it felt like. But I can't explain why there's a concentration of high numbers on the in the most recent 5 years or so. Other than those hypotheses, I don't know what the right answer is. The other thing that is apparent is that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the highest monthly death figures across those years fall in 2020. The highest of all of them actually was April, which was just after or just really during the first lockdown, when people were too frightened to go to hospital. Lots of outpatients appointments were cancelled. A lot of cancer treatment and so on was suspended. And obviously there's a lot of talk about this coronavirus, but I'm not gonna say any more about that in the meantime. Let's get on with the analysis. So what I want to do in analysing these figures is I'm going to create a new column, and I'm going to call this the difference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find out how much worse or better each month in 2020 as far as November was than the worst month or the next worst month that I've highlighted. So where, as an example, I suppose you could say where, just taking January, where the highest number isn't in 2020, I'm actually going to be subtracting the number. In fact, in all cases, I'm going to be subtracting the 2020 number from the highest number. But where the highest number falls in 2020, then I'll subtract the next highest from it. Okay, so for January's figure, I've taken the 1668 from January 2020 and I'm minusing 2101, which was the worst death figure for January from 2018, to find out the difference. So there were 433 fewer deaths in January 2020 to what there were in January 2018. So actually it's the same method basically for the next two cells, because February and March both have red cells at the same place. Okay, so you can see the numbers there. So fewer deaths for January, February and March in 2020, particularly January. Then we move to the other scenario where 2020's figure was higher than anything else. So the difference is the 2020 figure minus the next highest, which is the yellow cell. So for April, we have it sort of almost the inverse of January, 485 more. Then in May, we've got that one, take away that one. Then in June, it is that one. Sorry, I'm wrong. This one, take away the highest, which is that one. So June, things weren't as bad as what they have ever been in June. In July is this one, take away this one. So 14 more people in July. In August we have that one there that doesn't even, it's not first, second or third because there's no color associated with it. And so 84 fewer people than we had seen in August before. Moving on to September, so it's this one, take away this one, and then the next one is this one, take away this one, and then finally for December it is this one, take away this one. And that gives us our total. So you can kind of see at a quick glance down it that it sort of ebbs and flows. And what I want to do then is I'm actually just going to total this up, because hypothetically speaking, that will, now although there's no figure for December, basically that will give us how much better or worse 2020 was from January to November compared to January to November for each month recorded. Okay, so total better or worse Jan of 06 to 20. And move that a bit over there. Okay, so this is basically just going to give us a cumulative total. So I'm going to hit that one. Thankfully, it's got the right ones. Our grand total is 182. So we have had, compared to each year from 2006 to present, in terms of the worst figures for each month, we have had in 2020 a grand total of 182 people died more than we've ever seen from 2006 to present, excluding December, whatever December's figure is going to be. And for that, we have shut down the country. We have put people out of work. We have told people to stay at home. We have cancelled children's GCSEs, A levels, the transfer test for the 11 plus. We have imposed the wearing of masks in supermarkets. We have stopped people going to church. No doubt, if you were to ask the Minister for Health, he'll say, oh, it's completely justified. If it hadn't been for all these measures, things would have been much worse. Well, I'm not so sure. We keep having these lockdowns, and there's 3 vaccines approved now, which, as far as I understand, the rollout is supposed to be well underway. My understanding is that the rollout that was done in nursing homes is complete or near enough. Anecdotally, nowhere near as many healthcare workers as were hoped are opting to take the vaccine for any number of reasons. It's not for me to get into that. People have their reasons. They seem justified enough whenever you listen to them. Well reasoned. At the end of the day, everybody has to make their own decision based on what they believe the risks are to them from the disease, and balance that against what they believe the potential risk may be of one of these new vaccines that currently we know very little about. Folks, that is it. I just thought I would do that as a worked example, so to speak. I had done that analysis before, but I'm glad to see that my worked example has provided me with exactly the same figure as before. So it confirms that I have managed to find the right cells each time, and so on. Right, I'm going to stop blabbering and just get this online. Hope you enjoy it. I haven't shown my face this time. Some of you'll know why that is. And that's that.